Hey Magic fans, it's Paul from the Let's Talk Magic podcast here with your game day preview, otherwise known as a slice of bacon. Tonight the Magic are facing a Stampeding Bucks in Milwaukee on what is the second night of a back-to-back for Orlando. We are talking regular season game day number 27 for the Magic. The venue is the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. UK tip time is less than friendly 1 a.m, 8 p.m. local for our friends in Orlando. To watch here in the UK, as we often say, or always say, you do need a active NBA League Pass subscription. The festive jumper's back on. We are hoping to see a bit of a present from the Magic because at the moment we are just starting to see a little bit of slippage. I'll come to that in a minute. We don't want to overreact. Season record so far is 16-10. The run is we've lost the last 3 consecutive games and are 5-5 in the last 10 played. We have a road record at this moment in time of 5 wins and 7 losses. We are standing 4th in the East and scoring 113 points per game, conceding 110.1. Defensive rating, we are ranked 3rd and offensive rating is 21st. So yes, it's disappointing at this moment in time to see that the form has fallen away on both ends of the floor in recent weeks. But it's important to remember a couple of things, in all honesty, about this, what is a developmental year still for the Magic. First of all, last season, at this point, the Magic were 6-20. We are ahead of where we were. No cause for panic. Secondly, the team are in what was identified by everybody as the Magic's most difficult stretch of the season. From December the 11th through to January the 5th, it's about as rough as it can get in the NBA. And remember that we've already had a couple of hard West Coast trips. We've got some of those out of the way. After that, the schedule is on paper considered by many experts one of the, I hate this, you know I do, easiest against weaker teams. I'm really hating what I'm saying here. But it doesn't feature any long trips west and it is heavily centred on Eastern Conference opponents. So yes, I'm still going to be respectful. Yeah, I don't think there's any such thing as easy. But on paper and the talking heads and the way these things are written, people believe that after we finish the January the 5th stretch, we are into a better phase and it could lead us nicely into a challenge for the playoffs. So let's not panic, get behind the team. No need to panic at 3 losses straight or overreact to 1 or 2 players who may be struggling for a little bit of form or trying to come back to some form. Let's just be sensible. Second night of a back-to-back. So just see how the Magic are faring. On the first night, we are 2 wins, 3 losses this season, and on the second night so far, 2 wins, 2 losses. Last season, just for contrast, on the first night we were 6-7 on the season and 1-12 on the second night. So moving in the right direction. Let's talk about the Miami game last night. 9-game home winning streak came to a close, unfortunately. The Heat beat us 115 to 106. The Heat made 11 straight shots from the floor going into halftime, smashing open what had been a relatively tight game up to that point. And let's be honest, the Magic never recovered from that point. Terrible shooting performance again, particularly from range or game. And when we forced turnovers, we missed opportunities. It was quite amazing to see some of the stuff that we actually missed. Both Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner were met by a physical Miami presence all night, and that saw both struggle to get a rhythm and heavily impact on the scoreboard. Paolo struggled with his shot, making just 2 of 12 field goal attempts. Cole Anthony, he gave the Magic a spark and led the team with 20 points on 8 of 13 shooting. Franz Wagner finished with 15 points, 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Banchero, whilst ultimately As we say, he did struggle with his shooting. He did record 8 rebounds, 8 assists to go along with the 10 points. Chuma Okeke and Caleb Houston both put in pretty decent efforts late on. Starting unit was Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero and Wendell Carter Jr. came back having missed 20 previous games. From the bench, Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Moritz Wagner, Goga Batadze, Jonathan Isaac, Caleb Houston and Chuma Okeke. Jet Howard had been a late recall back to the squad but didn't feature. So for tonight, the Magic injury report still sees both Joe Ingles and Markelle Fultz listed as day-to-day. Both missed the Miami game through injury. Jet Howard is listed as being assigned again back to the G League, so isn't with us. Two-way player Trevelyan Queen is also not part of the squad. And as we've said before, Kevon Harris is listed as coach's decision not to play. Hasn't suited up this season yet. Wendell Carter Jr. played 23 minutes against Miami in that comeback game, having, as I say, missed the previous 20. It's not unreasonable to expect him to feature again tonight, probably in the starting rotation. Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero are most likely going to round out the starting 5. Milwaukee Bucks. 20-7 this season so far, and with a run of winning 5 consecutively and 8 out of their last 10. Second in the East, scoring for fun, 124.7 points per game, second in the league, but conceding quite high at 119.2, which is 23rd in the league. Ranked 3rd offensively, 19th defensive. And give them an opportunity and the Bucks will score. They have the second best overall field goal percentage at 50.1%. Second best percentage from the 2 at 58.7%. With the 3 ball they hit 38.2%, and that's the 4th best rate. They also take the 3rd most free throws per game and make 20.6 of those out of the 26.6 attempted. They are lethal. Whilst the defence is not as strong as it's been over some previous seasons, the Bucks still dominate the defensive boards, really hurting opponents there. And on the home court, Bucks have been absolutely solid, winning 15 of 17 so far this season played. So last time out for the Bucks, they took a home court 119-132 win over the struggling San Antonio Spurs. Damian Lillard led the way, hitting 7 of 12 from distance as part of his total 40 points scored. From the bench, Bobby Portis, 23 points, 10 rebounds for a double-double. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he had a triple-double of 11 points, 14 rebounds and 16 assists. He also threw in 2 steals and a block. Their starting 5 was Damian Lillard, Malik Beasley, Chris Middleton, Giannis and Brook Lopez. Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, Andre Jackson Jr. and Cameron Payne played the heavy backup minutes. Marjon Beauchamp, Robin Lopez, AJ Green and Thanasis came from the bench to support the rest of the team. Tonight, the Bucks do have a couple of injury concerns. Jay Crowder is out, but the big news, and it will hurt them if he doesn't play, is that Giannis is listed as day-to-day and questionable with a foot issue for tonight. And if he is deemed unavailable, expect Bobby Portis to step into that starting role. Other than that, you really expect their starting unit to come out as it has done for the majority of the season when those guys are fit. Head-to-head with the Bucks, 125 regular season games played. The record stands at 71-54 to the Bucks, who had won 14 straight games against us going into the season. Orlando did snap that run on game day 9 as they beat the Bucks in the Amway, or the then named Amway Centre, taking a 97-112 win. Paolo Banchero led 5 Magic players in double-digit scoring with 26 points. Giannis led all scorers with a 35-point performance. That was our first home court win since March 2018. We haven't won in Milwaukee since February the 9th, 2019. Nice to break that run as well. Over the last 4 seasons, the Bucks have swept the series. They have also won the series for the past 7 seasons. Orlando have only won 4 out of the last 25 regular season encounters. Throw in the playoffs, and it's 5 out of the last 30. The last time the Orlando Magic won the series, it was the 2011-2012 series. We won that by 4-0. We swept it. So for a final thought, second night of a back-to-back. On the road, at a juggernaut of an offence that is the Milwaukee Bucks. And let's be honest, that's far from ideal. However, if the defence can get itself going, we do have an opportunity. But if the Magic defence is anything like a stroke out of sync, then this game could go horribly wrong. Let's not pretend. Against Miami and Boston, we saw consistent missed shots, but the greater concern had to be the defence not finding their matchups and contesting the long ball as effectively as we have done. That's not negative, it's just being realistic towards the opponents that we've faced and how the Magic are playing at this moment in time. It's also true that this season with this young Magic team, we have seen that if the defence is functioning, then our offence has a better flow about it. That getting stops for this team just seems to breed confidence into the rest of their play. So fingers crossed that we see the Magic get the defence right tonight. If you've enjoyed this preview, as I always say, please give it a thumbs up, share it, follow us on Facebook and all those sorts of things. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. But more importantly, let's go Magic and let's get that W.